Gravitational Content. Yosemite National Park is a testament to the raw, unforgiving power of nature. It's a place of breathtaking beauty, featuring granite cliffs that have stood for millennia, silently waiting for humanity to invent the smartphone so they could become a backdrop for our most idiotic final moments. One of its premier stages for human folly is Taft Point, an 800-foot sheer vertical drop with a distinct lack of anything so sensible as a guardrail. It offers an unobstructed view of eternity, a feature some visitors become intimately familiar with. In October of 2018, Vishnu Viswanath and Meenakshi Murthy were visiting this very spot. They were a married couple who ran a successful travel blog, a career path that involves convincing the world your life is infinitely more interesting than it actually is. Their brand was built on vibrant, daring photos from the world's most picturesque ledges. In a moment of cosmic irony so thick you could cut it with a knife, Meenakshi had recently posted a photo of herself at the Grand Canyon, accompanied by a caption that thoughtfully warned her followers about the dangers of posing near cliff edges. She wrote, and this is a direct quote, "Did you know that wind gusts can be fatal?" It's a question that would unfortunately become rhetorical. They arrived at Taft Point as the sun was setting, the golden hour for photographers and a popular time for making mistakes. They set up their tripod, no doubt envisioning the flood of likes and engagement that a perfectly framed, death-defying sunset selfie would generate. Another tourist spotted them near the edge, blissfully unaware they were witnessing the before picture in a tragic before and after. The next day, their camera was found patiently waiting on its tripod, its owners having concluded their photoshoot by redecorating the geology 800 feet below. Park rangers eventually located their bodies, confirming that gravity remains undefeated and is entirely unimpressed by one's follower count. They had chased the perfect picture right over the edge, a final unpublished post in their quest for content. Terminal voltage. Let us travel now to a dreary train station in Iași, Romania. In May of 2015, an 18-year-old named Anna Ursu decided she was going to capture the ultimate selfie. For Anna, this didn't involve a clever filter or a flattering angle, but rather trespassing in a train yard and climbing on top of a stationary rail car. Her vision was grand, but her understanding of basic physics was, to put it mildly, deficient. Hanging silently above the train were the catenary wires, the circulatory system of the railway. These cables carry 27,000 volts of pure, indiscriminate energy, and they are surrounded by an invisible field of electric death that does not require your permission or your touch to reach out and end you. Ignoring the warning signs that are practically universal symbols for "don't do this," Anna scaled the train. Her friends stood below, phone at the ready to immortalize this stroke of genius. Anna lay down on the metal roof and, in a final dramatic flourish, lifted her leg into the air to strike a pose. The instant her limb entered the high-voltage electric field, the 27,000 volts decided they had found a much more interesting path to ground than the one they were on. A massive, crackling arc of electricity, a man-made bolt of lightning, leaped from the wire to her body. A bystander described a colossal explosion that threw Anna's friend several feet. The witness, proving that not all heroes wear capes, bravely climbed onto the train to extinguish the flames that had engulfed Anna's clothing. But the gesture, however noble, was futile. The human body is not designed to be a conduit for enough electricity to power a small town. Anna was rushed to the hospital with catastrophic burns covering more than half of her body, and she died the next day. Her quest for the ultimate selfie was a success in a way. It's hard to imagine a picture more final than that. The ripple effect. In September of 2017, a group of friends in India were enjoying a day out by the Walia Dam. The scene was idyllic, the mood was light, and the fatal ingredient was, as always, the group selfie. As the friends shuffled together, trying to cram their smiling faces into a single frame, a young man named Subhash lost his footing on the slick ground and tumbled into the reservoir. Seeing his friend struggle, a young man named Shiva, presumably auditioning for a role he was not qualified for, jumped in to save him. The current, unimpressed by his bravery, quickly put him in trouble as well. A third friend, Ramya, extended her hand to help the other two and was promptly pulled into the water for her efforts. It seems the reservoir was offering a 2-for-1 special on bad ideas. A fourth friend then attempted to form a human chain, a strategy that works well in feel-good movies but fails spectacularly against the basic principles of leverage and buoyancy. One by one, they were all dragged down. In total, 6 friends drowned. The most chilling detail of this entire fiasco is that it was all captured on video. Another member of the group, when faced with the choice of dropping the phone to find a rope, a stick, or literally anything that floats, instead chose to continue his career as a documentarian. The resulting footage is a horrifying testament to how quickly a fun outing can devolve into a mass casualty event, all starting with one clumsy step in the pursuit of a shareable moment, a headshot. In August of 2014, 21-year-old Oscar Otero Aguilar was at a party drinking with friends. Oscar was a man deeply invested in his online persona. His Facebook page was a carefully curated collage of what he thought constituted a cool lifestyle, posing with fancy cars, bottles of alcohol, and on this particular night, a deadly weapon. To add a bit of edge to his brand, he decided his next selfie required a prop, a loaded .45 caliber handgun. Surrounded by his friends, he began to stage his photo shoot. He held his phone in one hand and the gun in the other, mugging for the camera. He raised the weapon and pointed it directly at his own head, a pose that screams, "I have a fundamental misunderstanding of firearm safety." His friends, who had at least a few more functioning brain cells, warned him to be careful. He reportedly waved off their concerns, confidently assuring them that he knew what he was doing and that the gun wasn't a threat. He was, of course, tragically and spectacularly wrong. While trying to capture the perfect angle of himself looking tough and dangerous, he accidentally pulled the trigger. The .45 caliber handgun, which he was using as a fashion accessory, performed its primary function with brutal efficiency. The bullet entered his forehead and he collapsed, dead before help could even be summoned. He wanted to get a killer profile picture. In the end, he settled for a headshot in the most literal, clinical, and permanent sense of the word. If you enjoyed this video, then subscribe for more, and feel free to leave your suggestions for what's next in the comment section down below.